Hey, it's Scott from Your Boxing Mind, and in this video I'm going to reply to a request for someone asking how to wrap your hands. So there's loads of ways to do it, and it's all out there on YouTube for you to search, but I'm going to show you my way because the way I do it is quick, it's easy to remember, it's simple, and it's effective. It will protect your wrist, your knuckles and your hand. So how you start is you loop it around your thumb and then bring it 3 times around your wrist. Make sure your wrist and your fist is aligned, straight, and you want to pull it firm. You don't want to pull it too tight, that'll stop the blood flow, but you don't want to be too loose either. So pull it firm 3 times. Once you've done 3 times round, you go across your knuckles. Firm 3 times. Don't pull it too tight and don't have it slack either. Once you've done that, go back around the wrist again. Okay, back around the wrist. And this time, after you come around the wrist, instead of going down the wrist again, go under between the furthest away knuckles. Fingers, yeah, between the fingers at the furthest away, you go underneath. And then you go back around the wrist again. Okay, around the wrist. If your wraps are long, you might want to do 2 laps on the wrist to try and take away the wrap. And then you go under between the next 2 knuckles. And go over your wrist. Okay, a couple of times. And then for this one that's closest to you, instead of going under, when you take it over your wrist here, you go over. So you go over between these 2, and then around your fist, back around your wrist, and then just use the rest of the wrap to wrap your hand, really, your hand and your knuckles. I don't bother with the thumb, you know, because it does protect your thumb, but if you go around the thumb when you're boxing, it all falls apart in your glove and it's just a pain in the ass, you know. So that's it, that's simple. You go around the wrist 3 times, then across the knuckle 3 times, and then you start wrapping in between each finger. So you come under the wrist, and so you either go under or over to make sure you get in between each finger, and back to the wrist again, wrap round, and then just use up the tape to protect your fist and across the knuckles and around the wrist. So there's no real do it exactly like this, you'll just get a feel for it. As long as you do 3 times around the wrist, 3 times across the knuckles, and then start going between the fingers and around the wrist, and you'll just figure it out if you want to go under or over to get all the fingers. You've got to kind of practice it, it'll come with time, but it's simple this way and it's quick. You don't have to spend half an hour wrapping your hands before you train. Just throw them on 3 times here, 3 times there, over and under, over and under. That's you done.